Yeah, I think it'd be good. Yes, it'd be good. See, Smith, who now comes in motion. He leaves a little bit too soon coming upfield. Makes a nice catch of the ball right here. They want to get the ball to him in a lot of different ways. They're doing to him what they've done to Stallworth in Washington.
Out of La Canada, California.
On the offensive team.
Illegal.
Still first down.
That'll take them back after a nice reception. Those kinds of penalties have cropped up a few times too often for Lavelle Edwards. His team down by 3, and really this could be a scoring fest. We say 17-14. When we look at the statistics at halftime, I think we'll both be able to say it could already be in the 20s and 30s, the point output here. Detmer with plenty of time. Smith again. Same result to the 35-yard line. This time, no flag. John Diggs, the free safety, and Phil Garabedian there to make the stop.
In order for Detmer to do it, he's got to have some help up front. And here comes Savage, and they're doubling, which they have to do. You got a chance to block him if you got 2 blocking him. And Baldfoot and Stevens, the center, did a good job on it.
Land around.
We asked Mike Price to explain Savage, and he said in one sentence, he's a bronzed gazelle. He's got great speed. Smith up to the 37-yard line, a short game.
Number 94.
Boy, Detmer again leading the group downfield, and he loves to utilize a lot of receivers, and right now it seems Chris Smith is the one on his mind.
Chris Smith and Bellini are these 2 receivers. They want to get the ball to Smith because he can run, usually from a tight end position. You got strong safety trying to cover.
Andy Boyce in the game now at the top of his.
Yeah, coming to blitz. They read it. They read it.
For Boyce at the 46-yard line for a first down. A nice possession receiver that they'll bring in on situations.
I'm eating double cheese from Burger King.
Your way can have it right away. Special combination just for you. When your stomach roars like thunder, to satisfy your hunger.
With the bacon double cheese from Burger King.
Your way, right away, from Burger King.
We have a total of over 200 lines in our stockroom at all times. Well over $1 million worth of inventory on the shelf and in the warehouse. We distribute for Detmer Industries out of Anaheim. They build mainly grain trailers, flat decks, convertibles. We custom build any other type of trailer the customer wants. We also now are into used trucks complete with grain boxes. Fort Garry is here to provide the trucking industry with a one-stop, best price, hassle-free service.
And Mr. Sub, fresh thinking is what we are, partner.
It's time to get moving down to Tucks and Tails.
You're looking good with Tucks and Tails. And now, for 1 week only, any tux in the store is only $79. And even better, the groom's tux is free for 1 week only at Tucks and Tails.
Whatever the party, we are gonna suit you right. Get moving down to Tucks and Tails.
With interest this low.
Detmer goes right to him.
Ron Ricard made the stop. Just over 6 minutes to play. There you see Ricard had a great Aloha Bowl. Really the top defensive back in that game. 7 solo tackles, a deflection, and 1 interception. In the game against Houston, played last December. Timeout for BYU with 6 minutes to play. 17-14 here.
Redwood.
Washington State doing what we felt they would. Gossen, 7 of 14, 184 yards. Stallworth already with 90 yards in receiving and a touchdown. Todd Detmer, well, Ty having a great game. 245 yards. And look at the number of first downs for BYU, and they're trailing. They have doubled the output of Washington State, but it's been the big play with Broussard and Stallworth that's been the story, giving them the lead. 17-14, Washington State. 3rd and short yardage. Detmer to Bellini. Boy, right on his rump, Vince.
Once again, Bellini reads the route, started to run outside, came back in, and then saw the ball was low, and he just went right down with it. Here is Detmer. He sees Bellini, and then Bellini, who starts back inside, sees the ball is back inside on him and low, and he just goes down with it and makes the reception.
Nice, careful catch by an experienced receiver. He goes into the slot left now. Quick out to Bellini. To the 27-yard line of Washington State, John Diggs and Chris Moton combine on the stop.
But Bellini just quickly comes outside, sees the football, catches it, makes the turn. He can also catch the ball in a lot of different angles. He can turn back in on the football. The ball actually is thrown backwards. He's the kind of receiver any quarterback would like to have. You throw bad passes, he's going to adjust to it.
And there are his numbers. 7 for 99 yards. 1st and 10. Stacy Corley, who already has a touchdown run early on in this game from a yard away. Inside the 25 to the 23, Ron Ricard made the stop. Well, the Baltimore Orioles, who have been slumping of late, trying to stay with Toronto ahead of Texas. And the Blue Jays well on their way, it appears, against Cleveland. Sports Center tonight at 11:30 Eastern Time as you check scores now in the National League. And Chris Fowler will update you on the goings-on there and at the U.S. Open in Flushing Meadow at halftime. 2nd and 6. And again, Detmer breaks free. Out of bounds at the 5-yard line. 19 yards. Tie. Had him tied up defensively.
Well, this is why Lavelle Edwards likes Detmer, because right here with the rush by Savage, he knows he's got to bail out. He does. He keeps looking. He's directing him downfield. Keep blocking. I'm going to keep trying to find the daylight. Keep running. Goes all the way down to the 5-yard line and then kind of steps out of bounds.
With the help of number 20, Michael Wright, at the 6-yard line. 1st and goal. 4:24 left. Whittingham inside the 5 to the 4. Chris Moton made the tackle. You know, Detmer had a difficult game in the opening half against New Mexico. They said he may have pressed somewhat, and they were really concerned about his play in this game because of that. As you see, Dan Grayson injured for Washington State. But boy, has he had a big first half here.
You make the biggest improvement as a football team between the first and the second ball game. And Detmer, no question about it, was a little antsy. He was not steady. But right now, he's playing the kind of quarterback that they expect him to play. He sees, he's got great patience, he takes what's there, and he goes to the right receivers, Bellini, which anybody should do most of the time.
And both of these quarterbacks, again, we can't mention it too much. They're both young. Detmer just a sophomore. This is really the first time that he has had an opportunity to realize that this is his team. Sean Covey saw so much playing time a year ago. It came in for him when he was injured in the Hawaii game. And Gossen, of course, with the pressure of following Rosenbaugh, what a curtain call for him in his first game and a half.
Well, I think it's going to be fun watching these two quarterbacks for the next 3 years.
Yeah. Detmer has completed his last 9 passes. And, of course, it's been the big play for number 12 in White, cashing in from 64 yards to Stallworth and 66 yards to Broussard. Beautiful night and a beautiful place. And a lot of beautiful people looking on. Dan Grayson being checked on the field, number 50 in White. Grayson played both inside and out. And it looks as though he's favoring that right knee as he comes to the sidelines. And we'll check on his status once we get the information from the Cougar sidelines located beneath it.
Grayson had a tough time. Had a lot of trouble at home, tough family life, had to fight through a lot of problems, actually walked on and earned a scholarship himself. But really came the tough way, and has been a good inspiration to a lot of the young kids.
First down and 5. For the touchdown.
Here comes the Neckett.
Detmer throws and gets rid of it, really, because he was about to be buried. Both Chris Smith and Nyberg and Bellini, all three were in the general area, but Detmer just had to get rid of it because Randy Gray, number 96, was in his face.
He had Bellini open in the end zone, and with a little more of a touch, he might have gotten it to him. Overthrew him.
Third down and goal from the 5. This is the 13th play of a drive that has lasted for 75 yards to this point. Intercepted by Grayson. Back in the game after the injury.
Wow, what a comeback. What a comeback.
Well, we didn't have to check on what the problem was, did we? And again, being denied, who's going to keep whom out of the end zone most?
Great example of it.
Is he happy?
Did he make a superb interception? Detmer kept looking, and he thought he'd go back to the inside like he did earlier. And there was Grayson, who cut up in the air, made a picture book interception, and went right down to his knees. Just for a split second, he thought about running out.
He lost his mother. His father was an alcoholic, and he's had a very difficult personal life. But what a great interception there. A little shovel pass over the middle. Quick hitter, really, for Stallworth out to the 22-yard line. Bob Davis, Rocky Beagle, all of them there to polish up on Stallworth on that little quick hitter over the middle.
Well, that's the very basis of their offense. If you're uncovered, I'm going to raise up and give it to you every time. And every time that they leave him that way, they're going to take what they get, 3, 4, 5 yards. And that was a short pass. That pass wasn't 5 yards.
2nd and 7 after the gain of 3. 3:14 left, first half. Tim Brando, Vince Dooley from Provo, Utah. Happy you joined us for a special Thursday night edition. Oh, that's right. And they got him at the 22-yard line. Dwayne Johnson, number 54, underpublicized really in comparison to Beagle and Davis, but there you see the story on the linebackers here. Johnson, 5.5 sacks a year ago, Robinson with 4, and again, tackles for loss. That may be even the better stat. That's one of the reasons why a lot of publications claim this could be the best linebacking corps out west, if not the country.
They got a great group, outside linebackers and inside linebackers.
Davis wants some help from the crowd. 3rd and 8. Gossen, down he goes. Chad Robinson on the blitz.
And Bob Davis, they're coming with him. First time I've seen Gossen just a little unsure. Here's Davis once again. Slow, and then when he sees it, he'll go.
And are he and number 9 pumped up? 4th down. Bob Myers to punt it away. Line driver. Mitchell, though, will let it bounce. And it takes a BYU bounce and goes dead at the 46-yard line. And with 1:31 to play, after only a 35-yard punt, the BYU Cougars could make more noise before halftime. Don't forget, a special Sunday night edition of CFA football coming up. A WAC battle and a huge one at that, even early. Wyoming against Air Force, 8:15 Eastern time, Sunday night. Note the special time. Boy, you'll see Dabby Dawson of the Cowboys and Dee Dowis, who posted Heisman-like numbers against San Diego State last week. They'll be featured. From the 46-yard line, 1st and 10, Detmer with the ball with 1:31 left. Markers down the wide side of the playing field, and so is Detmer. Marlon Brown cracking through there to drag him to the turf at the 41.
Along with Ledbetter. Number 91, who was a down lineman. And illegal procedure on the offense.
The offensive team. Penalty decline. Second down.
They claim that Ledbetter is still trying to learn the reads as a linebacker after being that down lineman that you mentioned, Vince. Washington State leading by 3, 2nd and 16 coming up.
I think he'll be better when they get against good running teams. There he is down again, number 91 down.
Chris Smith, the tight end. First down, BYU.
Well, Chris Smith can run, and he beats Moton, number 6.
Boy, a variety of ways they're utilizing him. Here comes the blitz. Ledbetter, he gets away from both he and Brown. Incomplete, intended for Smith, and Moton nearly had a pick.
Chris Smith was open in the end zone, and bad angle to be running trying to throw the football. Here's Smith. Now he adjusts his route. You can see he's open. He wants the football, but it's thrown just a little short. And Moton comes back and makes the play and should have had the interception.
Second down and 10. We're under a minute to play. 56 seconds left in the half. Vince, when you and I hit the air, we talked about both offenses moving. They've done that.
Smith is out. He's tired.
Draw play. Whittingham. He has 10 inside the 19-yard line. Moton eliminated the tackle.
The draw play is their best offensive play. It's average 9.7 yards a carry.
And that's about what they got. 47 seconds remaining, and they'll measure it.
They got 9.8. A little over the average. That'll cut down on the pass rush considerably.
It'll be second down in short yardage. Lavelle Edwards has been denied the end zone because of an interception and a penalty on a couple of drives. They have dominated this game statistically. Detmer at already just under 300 yards passing, 19 of 25. Mike Price's team bending but not breaking defensively, as the adage goes, and using the big play offensively.
They got Smith back in at tight end, number 94. And they're going to go to him after they make this first down. And he's
Bellini appears that he has it at the 12-yard line. Roosevelt Noble, number 37, along with Ledbetter there to make the stop, and there's some jawing going on down on the playing field right now. Emotions running high. Don't forget, at halftime, Chris Fowler will be in the studio with the latest on the U.S. Open. Connors and Agassi, a 5-setter today. Charlene Hawks is at Lake Compounds, where ESPN's 10th anniversary celebration is underway. Detmer, Bellini, touchdown!
What a combination. Detmer, Bellini. What a night is he? What a night he's having.
21-17. BYU takes the lead. And the extra point is good by Chappitz. And they lead now by 4.
They'll see Detmer. And Bellini cuts right back inside. Got such a great read. And now he goes by the linebacker, Garabedian, who's just not quick enough to cover it. Look at here.
Well, he waited.
We did it.
He waited almost the entire half to get BYU its first lead, and they have it. And Bellini, both as a runner and receiver. That's been a very popular name here over the years, the name Bellini, as has the name Kozlowski. 33 seconds left, and BYU with a 4-point lead, 21-17. And again, as we mentioned a moment ago at halftime, Chris Fowler in the studio, our college football studios, with a halftime report, the USF&G halftime report, and then our 10th anniversary special with Charlene Hawks, who went to BYU, by the way, as your hostess from there, and of course, the latest on the happenings at the U.S. Open and Major League Baseball. Desmond Clayton at his 6th. Fumble.
There's excitement in Provo.
No official call. Dave Porter made the stop. They'll rule him down, and it will be held on by Washington State. And the scoring drive for Brigham Young. 6 plays, 53 yards. Not quite as much real estate used this time, or the time. 58 seconds. Bellini, 12 yards from Ty Detmer.
Come down the field in a hurry.
Broussard, just a couple of yards. Bob Davis made the stop.
They're going to take this on in at halftime, just down 21-17. I had lunch with Lavelle and Patty Hedwitz today, and right before we left, Patty looked at Lavelle. He started thinking about the game. She said, can we score on him, Lavelle? Lavelle laughed and says, they ask that question before every game.
And the answer is yes, they can score, but can we keep 31 in white from scoring too much? We'll see in the second half as the Cougars and the Cougars have brought forth a cat-like type offense that has been most entertaining after one half. 21-17, BYU with the lead. Let's go now to our college football studios. The happy spot where our 10th anniversary is, Chris.
All right, thank you very much, Tim.
On the left-hand portion of your screen. Cougars will get the ball, the home-standing Cougars, to start the second half. And remember, we told you the key to the game, which defense could keep the offense out of the end zone most. It's evident both teams are going to move the ball. Now the ball went out of bounds. Charlton wisely letting it go. And so they'll take the penalty. 5 yards, and Washington State will have to do it again. The possessions for BYU, 10 plays, 82 yards on the opening drive as they move the ball downfield.
Will re-kick.
The muffed punt. Then came a 9-play, 43-yard drive that ended in a punt. 5 plays, 80 yards. The interception, remember that if this is a 3 or 4 point game, because Grayson's pickoff and that 12-play drive could be big. A 53-yard drive on just 6 plays for a touchdown to close out the half. And Bellini was due in large part to that drive.
Bellini has caught 8 balls, and the BYU has run 18 more offensive plays than Washington State, and has kept the ball a lot more, 16 to 13 minutes in the ball game, first half.
So when you think about it, you give BYU that many more opportunities. That, of course, keeps your big play offense out of the end zone.
Well, ball control is part of it, and when you keep the ball and keep the ball away from Washington State, then that minimizes the opportunity for the big play.
Wasn't it you that said in 1981, after you had Herschel Walker, that you couldn't keep the ball enough? He had too many big runs?
Well, we had too many big runs in 1980, so we coached him down from the 80-yard runs just to those 10, 12, 15, 20-yard runs. We kept the clock more.
That's right. Crutchfield will let this one go into the end zone. Boy, does Hansen have a foot. I mean, he gets a penalty of 5 yards and still boots it into the end zone. So it will be first down and 10 yards to go for BYU from their own 20-yard line. And Ty Detmer, number 14 in blue, brings out his Cougar offense. 311 yards, 20 out of 26 in the first half. Those are the kinds of numbers that would be borderline on record-breaking should he have a similar second half.
Well, if he got a similar second half, he would break the record of Robbie Bosco in '85 against New Mexico.
Play fake. Got his man up to the 37-yard line. Odell. And Ledbetter made the stop, a 17-yard gain. And the comparison on the lefty and the right-hander, Gossen. There you see it. No interceptions. That's important. 188 yards. The two big passes of 66 and 64 for the 2 touchdowns. And Detmer, you can't get much better than that.
And they're controlling the football, moving it, making first downs, throwing the football.
First and 10. Yard line. Dan Grayson made the stop. And if you're wondering why they may run the ball a bit more, consider that Tony Savage is out of the game right now with a sprained ankle. He left the game late in the second quarter, and we're waiting to receive word if, in fact, he could come back. There you see him down on the sidelines. The senior out of San Francisco who runs so well, now out of it. They really do believe, and you see the numbers last season for Savage, tonight, already involved in a bundle of tackles and hurries, but he's not in there now. Detmer with Marlon Brown all over him, underthrown. The pass intended for Bellini. And with Savage out, Marlon Brown will have to step up his play.
Brown, along with Savage, have been the 2 leading rushers, and Brown continues to put pressure. That's the first time that I've seen Detmer throw what is not a good pass.
Give him a hurry on that one as Savage looks on. Certainly one of the top 3 linemen on the West Coast, and really being promoted heavily by the public relations people at Washington State, and rightfully so for the Outland Trophy. From the 45, Bellini, nothing doing.
I don't think so.
Lost a half yard perhaps. Dan Grayson, the weak side linebacker, and Roosevelt Noble, the right cornerback, come up to make the stop.
Along with number 50, Dan Grayson. See if we can find Grayson. There's Grayson right there. Makes a nice tackle and really pulls him back and keeps him from making the first down.
4th down and a yard to go. Kaufman to punt. Diggs back deep, number 22 in white.
Rush.
And they got it. Partially blocked by Washington State. It'll roll dead at the 28-yard line. So a nice bounce for Kaufman, but Ledbetter went in there to block it. 27 yards on the punt. So Kaufman really fortunate to get that much distance.
Very fortunate. Ledbetter, number 91, breaks off in good position, comes up, gets a piece of it, and not a lot of it. And they got really a lucky roll on this kick.
Second time they've had problems out of the punt formation. Kaufman, you recall, got the bad snap in the first half. First and 10, Washington State from its 28. Broussard dances and prances past the 30 to the 32. Boy, he did that on his own, really. Eric Ferguson came up to make the stop.
Bob Davis, number 36, but there's a great example of Broussard being able to run at a straight and then cut at a 90-degree angle without slowing his speed.
Broussard coming out of the game now in 2nd and 7 situation. Alvin Briggs, number 5, the wide receiver at the top of your screen, along with number 87, Ron Young, who's yet to catch a pass. Swinton in motion. They swing it out to him, and Davis drags him out of bounds, and there's the flag. Had to be. Good call by the official.
Definitely. He slung him and shouldn't have.
Mike Price will take those extra yards.
That's a... He quickly hits Swinston, who goes to the first down, and then all of a sudden, here it is, he's going to swing him
on the defensive team. First down.
And no question about it. He slung him too late out of bounds. Definitely penalty. First down.
Not the kind of play a senior should make. I know he's an emotional leader, but you don't want that if you're a coach.
Not a smart play, for sure.
From the 45, first down 10. Washington State trailing by 4. Opening moments, second half. Play fake. There he goes deep for Young. Ron Young. They're going to rule he had possession, and I believe he did. 41 yards for number 87.
Ron Young has gotten lost in all of this. Here's the replay. A good fake play action. And then right down the middle to Young. He's 6'4", 203, and he got behind number 2, Dixon, who they've worried about. He's the most inexperienced player in the BYU secondary. And they're picking on him a little bit.
They really are. Coming in, they felt that Dixon and Ferguson could be exploited. Movement in the line, 74 Garmin and 93 Bud Orr. Garmin apparently guilty of procedure.
Bad mistake down here. First down on the 5. You can see Garmin, right tackle, he moves, and he gets pushed a little bit by Orr, and Garmin thinks a little bit more than he should have. And Orr pushes him back, so let's see what we get.
Good ball. Ball start on the offensive team. Still first down.
Now, if Orr had hit him a little bit harder, they could have ruled a penalty against Orr.
Garmin, I think, was a little bit embarrassed that he went to the turf after number 93 Bud Orr got a hold of him there and shoved him down. The JC All-American number 93 out of Dixie Junior College, Bud Orr. Well, Garmin comes back up now, looking for restitution. First and goal from the 9 now. Gossen. Now he'll have to tuck it away. Down to the 1-yard line. Number 12 in white, like number 14 in blue, just has a tremendous feel for the game.
Just great poise, great confidence. Keeps looking. I thought he would take off a little bit sooner than what he did, but he kept looking. He stopped right here, and then he decided to go. And he's being in hot pursuit by number 9, Robinson.
Blitzing again from the backside, Vince. We've seen it all night long. Second and goal from the 1. Gossen.
Didn't get it. Gossen didn't get it. Got a yard, though, baby.
He's closer, but he's not in. Robert Norville is now into the game at center as an extra lineman, helping, but not helping enough.
Well, this is one of those over-the-top jobs. I don't know if they got a sky over-the-top job, but it's half a yard.
You got to figure 31's got to touch the ball in here, Broussard.
You need to give it to Big Terrible if you ran 2 plays and didn't give it to him, and I've seen that happen before.
Third and goal. He got it. Yeah. And he's in for the touchdown.
And he did it as a big little back, being low and going for it. I don't think any normal back would have made that one.
He's big up high and big down low. He's got great strength, number 31, Broussard.
Thick legs. Here he is behind the block of Swinston. And now he's down in there low, and he's moving his feet and gets under everybody. Definitely hit.
And now Hansen for the extra point. Remember, the defense keeping the offense out of the end zone most. Now we start the second half much as we did the first. Both offenses moving and moving well. Washington State regathers the lead by 3.
It's always been easy to take Jeep off the road. Now it's easy to put
4:21 after a magnificent opening drive to start the third quarter after trailing 21-17 at halftime. We're happy you joined us on this, our 10th birthday. Tony Crutchfield awaits a yard deep. Markers down, and so is Crutchfield at the 23. Thrown in an area where you could get clipping or holding.
Or blocking low.
All of the above. Our referee, Guy Gibbs, locked in conclave right now, and he'll come away and settle the issue for us. It is a clipping. And again, power running and getting low in short yardage situations, Vince.
And Broussard can do it because right away he's only 5'7", maybe 5'6 and a half. And here he cuts back. Now watch how low he gets as he goes in the end zone. He says he's 5'7", but they think he's probably 5'6 and a half, and that's low already when you're 201 pounds. And you need to give the ball to a back like that, particularly when you're around the goal line.
Ty Detmer now, who had just gotten the lead to close out the first half for the first time, is trailing again. And now starts on his patio at the 11. Gets away from pressure, but now he doesn't. And again, here it comes again. Cracking through 96, Randy Gray. 6'6", 265-pound senior from Danville, California. The 5th sack of the game by Washington State's defensive front. Savage still sitting on the sidelines. Supposedly, we may see him. He's getting the blow. Remember this thin air up here, and if you're not completely healthy, fatigue could be a factor when you're playing with a poor ankle, and that's what's hurt right now. 3rd and long, and Whittingham off the pitch. Stopped at the 9-yard line. That may be the first conservative play that we've seen called from Roger French and his staff, working with Lavelle Edwards, and no doubt this position on the field has something to do with that.
Well, this is the first time that they've had a bad field position. They've always been fortunate to get the ball upfield more.
There you see Roger French, the offensive coordinator. You know, Lavelle Edwards, his great career here. The average years for his staff, 12 years and beyond. That's consistency.
French has been around 9 years. Possession pass.
Detmer for Bellini. Oh. Boy, and when he's been in that position before, he's caught them, and Detmer could not have put it in a better spot. Ricard, the left corner, was there to provide coverage.
Detmer got hit pretty good, but Bellini made a nice cut, did everything like he wanted to, and just dropped the football. Just dropped the football, which is leading. Detmer threw the ball nicely, put it right on the button, but he got hit pretty hard.
4th and 12. BYU forced to punt. Washington State to get good field position on the exchange here. High and short. Fair catch by Diggs at the 39. So Mike Price has to love the scenario after a 27-yard punt by Kaufman.
I'm ready for one.
Position their best of the night at the 39 of BYU. Broussard stopped. Chad Robinson there to make the tackle.
And Gossen missed the read. Robinson did a good job of faking him off and then coming in late. Normally, Gossen would raise up and hit the wide receiver or the slot back stalwart, which he could have done. But good job by Robinson, number 9, the outside linebacker.
We talk about Detmer's numbers. Gossen's pale in comparison, but still, what a night.
Big plays.
2nd down. 11. Over the middle, Young dropped it at the 6. Now, Irvin Lee may have stripped him there. If he did, it was a tremendous play in man-to-man coverage. Number 4, Irvin Lee out of Navasota, Texas, a sophomore.
Ron Young at the top of your screen breaks in on Lee and has him beat. I don't think there's any question about that. The ball is on the pocket, and he just dropped it. I don't think Lee did anything. He was beat. The vertical stretch, which is what Washington does so well.
They both pass, but they do it differently.
BYU likes to come across the middle.
3rd down, 11. Lit. And they got him at the 41. Kafusi and Bud Orr both combining on the stop. After the scores from baseball and tennis, don't forget Sports Center tonight immediately following our game. All the scores and highlights at 11:30 Eastern Time.
That's the kind of play they expected to get out of Kafusi. He didn't play very well in the first ball game, but he's playing like they think he can.
They project him as their best pass rusher, don't they?
That's excluding the linebacker.
Exactly.
Boy, this is a long field goal.
But they know that Jason Hansen can do it. He's kicked them from 52 and 51 a year ago. The 52-yarder came off grass. Remember, no tee. Number 4, Jason Hansen.
Well, this is one of those where I don't know, because it depends on the punting. I'd hate to give BYU the ball at the 41-yard line, which is what you do when you try a field goal this long.
It's a 58-yard attempt. Now, he kicked some in practice in excess of 60 yards, and I'm sure Bryce must be thinking, the way BYU has controlled the ball, we need to get points whenever we can.
Well, I probably would go ahead and punt the ball. Let's get it inside the 10-yard line and keep BYU backed up.
It's the punter, Rob Myers, that's holding, so you really needn't worry about a fake, at least with the holder throwing the pass. We'll see. A lot of leg. He got it! 58 yards by Hansen.
Well, he knew his kicker better than I did. Yeah. He's happy because he knows he made the right decision, because that would have been a bad decision, and he missed it.
Yeah, the price was right for a field goal try, and he came through with flying colors.
This Hansen is one great kicker. Gets down on and drives the ball well, keeps his head down, and I think he knows that it's him there. But he's not personal. Yeah. Yeah, I got it.
His longest ever, 58 yards, Jason Hansen. Excluding practice, his longest ever. And when you consider the turf and no tee, boy, the pro scouts will be drooling over that young man.
And he's got this year and next year. 2 more years.
Just a sophomore out of Spokane, Washington. He has a 50 straight extra points coming in tonight. He's added, of course, to that 4 times. And, of course, the field goal as well. 27-21 our score. BYU trailing by 6, 7:28 remaining 3rd quarter. Hansen to kick off. Crutchfield again is back deep, along with Charlton for Brigham Young. I don't know exactly why they're holding up play, but now he will address the ball. Again, a nice driving boot. A yard deep, it's Crutchfield. Stopped at the 20, and again a marker down. And if this is against BYU, remember these 2 flags, because in each case it would have put them back around their 10-yard line. It's hard to run your offense from that position.
Penalties definitely hurt BYU tonight. It's a clip. And that puts them right back at the 10-yard line. You can see the clip right here on the right is right here on number 20. And definite clip hit blocking from behind.
That field goal, by the way, was the longest ever in Cougar Stadium, 58 yards. Wayne Clements of Texas had a 55-yarder a few years back. Now, thank you. We're happy to be bringing ESPN to you for 10 years and beyond. Bellini in motion on 1st and 10. Incomplete over the middle. Looking for Franzen.
He's getting some pressure. He had to hurry that, and they crowded at Bellini. They're playing him a little tighter.
The scoring drive for Washington State. They didn't have to travel far. -2 yards, but a 58-yard field goal. And remember, field position, the key to those 3. The penalty on the kickoff really brought forth those 3 points. Detmer's numbers building. And Franzen's got it beyond the 20 to the 23-yard line for a first down. 13 yards on the pickup, and they needed that one desperately. Grayson and Diggs combine on the stop for Washington State.
I think they now believe that they've got to go to some other receivers. They've hit Smith and Bellini so much that they got to go and use the other receivers.
Whittingham, there's a new receiver, usually the tough runner in the middle. Fred Whittingham to the 29-yard line. Dan Grayson made the tackle, so they are beginning to mix it up a bit. Grayson had the nice interception to stop a would-be touchdown for BYU in the second quarter, number 50 in white.
They've started to double Bellini, so that's going to leave Whittingham and some of the other receivers open.
Draw, Whittingham bouncing off a couple of tacklers, cracks up to the 30-yard line. Number 92, Dan Weber, 6'2", 272-pound junior from Bellevue, Washington, made the stop. Seeing playing time now, in essence, because Savage has been sidelined, as adjustments are being made defensively for the Cougars. 3rd down and 4 coming up. Detmer again under duress from Weber and company, throws it away. And there again, if you just joined us, Tony Savage, the Outland candidate from Washington State, injured, sprained his ankle late in the second quarter. We have been told he could return, but so far the Washington State defense has been doing it. Now we've just received word that they've made the decision he can't come back. So, well, the shoulder of the pressure now falls on Marlon Brown and company. Nice punt this time by Kaufman. Diggs with a fair catch at the 26-yard line. 5:35 remaining third quarter. Washington State injured but leading.
You can teach your kids the fun of football from the...
Remaining with Vince Dooley and Tim Brando. Motion on the offensive front. Wellsant, the tight end, who caught the pass, left too quickly. And that's the reason for the marker. It'll be interesting to see Washington State's now offensive philosophy, Vince, what with the knowledge that their defense has stopped BYU for the first time twice in a row to start the second half.
They're going to have to keep doing their thing, and part of their thing was what you just saw then. Whenever they give the tight end or the slot back the opportunity with a little dump, they're going to take it. And they're going to continue.
Before the ball was snapped, we got offside on the defense. First down.
Whoa. So there was defensive movement first. You clearly could see 82 Wellsant leave too soon, but there must have been movement early on by BYU.
So who are they penalizing?
BYU. 82 clearly offside.
They're penalizing BYU?
Yeah. Wait a minute. They went the other way. They had it incorrect, and now they're making the change. Obviously, Wellsant with procedure, not offsides for BYU. Well, it's early in the season, even for the official.
Wow. They're still talking over it over the summer. Are you sure you got it right, Mr. Ref?
So it's 1st and 15. They cleared it up. Quick hitch again to Olsen, the tight end. Number 46 in white, who does see a lot of playing time at that position. He may have more quickness, but his hands have been in question. Wellsand a little bigger, maybe the better blocker, but they use the twin tight end look a great deal.
They use it a lot, but not tonight, because they're able to put Broussard in the slot. And again, they're going to, every time you give them that, if you don't cover the receiver, they're going to pop it to the tight end of the slot back.
Olsen again, fighting away from Dixon at the 35.
And a flag.
Norm Dixon bulldogging him down right there at the 35-yard line, and a marker down, as Vince mentioned. Well, I think we've gotten our cue from Washington State offensively. They're throwing, but it's underneath, and the clock keeps moving with a 6-point lead.
They'd like to keep the clock moving, but 6 points against BYU. That's no lead at all.
Here's Guy Gibbs. Holding now against the Cougars of BYU, and that'll help them move the chains.
Penalties have really hurt BYU.
We have holding on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty and 1st down.
Lavelle Edwards looks on.
Let's see. There's no question that Crutchfield, he's got him. He let go of him, but he got him. Crutchfield's a little fire plug. He comes in as a nickelback.
That may be the only way to stop Stallworth, Phil. Swinton. Swinton shows some outside ability. Just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Swinton out of Canoga Park, California.
Gain of 9 yards on the
Pickup of 9.
The 49-yard line.
They're going to run some block. It's a good block here on Mitchell by number 33. Swenson is a runner, Evan. That's an excellent block.
Griggs, the wide receiver, came up to affect that play. 2nd down, a yard to go. Well, they fake the dump pattern, and they come outside to Young. Incomplete again. Dixon over there with some help from Robinson, the outside linebacker. So it's 3rd down and a yard to go for Washington State. 4:23 remaining in the 3rd quarter. 27-21 our score. It was 21-17 at halftime. And the Cougars, who scored big with the long plays in the first half, are trying to be more consistent before this jam-packed crowd at Cougar Stadium in Provo here in the 2nd half.
Going to give it to Broussard or Swenson.
Swinton has it. 1st down. Inside the 45 to the 44-yard line.
Swinton and Broussard's like a tag team. Broussard led the conference in rushing, and then Swinton was 4th in the conference. 90 yards a game.
Well, they have the wrestler build, don't they? Short and stocky.
Yeah.
Swinton coming off the playing field now. 5 rushes, 24 yards. But they've been tough yards the last couple of drives. First and 10. Play fake to Broussard. Now they look for Olsen. He's got it at the 2-yard line. Troy Fuller finally hauled him down, a 42-yard gain. And we have an injured Cougar. Alima Fatizamanu is now injured.
Olsen. And he beats, again for the second time,
Fitzsimanu.
Thank you.
For a long time, they've had Polynesian players here, and Fitzsimanu here definitely injured in trying to catch up with the tight end that does have the speed, Rod Olsen.
And there's
actually, it was Fuller that hit him.
Fuller runs into him.
Appears to be up and okay, and Alima Fitzsimanu will go out. Out of American Samoa, junior, 6'1", 230-pounder.
Again, Gossen saw the mismatch and knew where to go. I continue to be impressed with the quarterbacks, and checked it off, saw it, and kept his poise and threw the ball right at the right time.
First down, goal. Outside the 1-yard line. Broussard stopped shy of the first down. We talked about his power and where he generates that power. Broussard runs low to the ground, and you know, he reminds me a bit, Vince, of Robert Newhouse because of those big thighs he has. And you know, he has had some hamstring problems, and that historically have caused problems for runners like that.
Thighs that big, you'll have some hamstring problems. Another one is the enemy up at Colorado. Yeah. Very much like him. That Coach LaBelle Edwards thinks very much like the enemy.
2nd and 1. Set up. Broussard, same play. It's a touchdown. Deja vu, much like that last run we saw from number 31 for 6.
Broussard, once again, is tough. He makes the right cut, and then he gets low. Extra effort, and he dives right here.
And Washington State, realizing that their defense had been able to stop BYU, picked away on that drive. Consistent, long drive, using some clock, certainly the most clock we've seen tonight, the key.
Just a little bit.
Trying to decide
the two-pointer.
Exactly.
They already had it in mind during the drive, I'm sure. This could make it a 14-point lead, so you can understand why they've decided to make this move. Stallworth incomplete. Eric Ferguson right there with him, so it's a 12-point Washington State lead. Gossen went after number 7 that time, but Eric Ferguson handled the test. Washington State again with power running from Broussard for 6.
Again, when you get around the goal line, you want to give it to Broussard because he'll find the spot. Here he stopped, but then a little second effort, he takes the blocker on into the end zone. The right tackle, Garman, continues to move his feet, comes inside the trap block by Coma, and then just hits Garman, number 74, and drives him on in the end zone with a second effort.
Ushered in by Garman. And Hansen will kick off now for Washington State. You see the time remaining, but again, BYU, with their offense playing in this stadium, you know they have 12 more points in them, perhaps, as long as they can keep the pressure off. Last couple of times with poor field position in defense of Detmer, he has been pressured by the pass rush of Washington State.
Poor field position, good pressure, and I would say that right now this quarter certainly belongs to Washington State. I don't know what kind of time we're talking about, but definitely possession in favor of Washington State.
A high kick by Hansen. Crutchfield a yard deep again.
Oh, what a scene. Hansen has a shot, and he drags him down at the 48-yard line.
Number 4 saved a touchdown for Washington State.
been the player of the night, despite all the great play by the quarterbacks. He's got to make this tackle. It's wide open for the touchdown, and usually your punter's not a good tackle. But did a good job right here, staying up high.
For his position, you see the 47-yard return. For his position, Jason Hansen may be one of the best on Mike Price's team. That was a quote from him to us earlier today. Bootleg. Detmer looking for Boyce, wide open.
And one thing they've got to do is come across the middle, and their safety man got lost. Boyce makes the tackle, and finally Gunn comes in and makes the tackle. Gunn is a number 2 safety and hasn't played any at all.
Ty Detmer rolling up some great numbers in this game. 389 yards, only missing on 10, a career high. Bellini to the 5. Randy Gray, along with number 97, Tim Downing, hauling him down. Roosevelt Noble also in on the pile. Well, they were stopped here earlier on a pass interception, Vince. And with the score the way it is now, they better get in the end zone.
They need to score here. You're right.
2nd and 3. Whittingham. Touchdown!
It's just a sweep, toss sweep to Whittingham. And he gets a good block by Chris Smith, the tight end. And Whittingham dances on in for the touchdown.
Chaffetz with the extra point. And what was that we said earlier about 12 points against BYU isn't a lot? You bet it isn't. 33-28 our score.
Here's the replay again of the toss sweep. Chris Smith, the tight end, makes a good block. And let's look at Bellini. Bellini right here, good screen. He does everything intelligently. Everything that he does. Blocking, running routes, whatever it is. He's some football player. Here you'll see Bellini right here. Just stepping and turning to the inside.
The scoring drive, 3 plays, 53 yards, a minute 17. Whittingham with a 5-yard run. And now Kaufman will kick off. And back deep for Washington State, Desmond Clayton, along with John Diggs. Clayton at the left-hand portion of your screen, Diggs at the right-hand side. BYU bench is pumped, and why not?
And the stadium is pumped. They were very quiet in the 3rd quarter. They're back in the game.
Out of bounds. Nice move by Clayton, allowing that one to get out of bounds, and Kaufman will have to do it again. Well, Kaufman's had a tough night. He had a poor snap from center. He had one blocked that, thankfully, for BYU rolled 27 yards. And he does kick off rather than Chaffetz because he does have the better foot. In fact, if it's a long field goal try, it would be Kaufman that would try it. He's had a difficult night tonight.
Kaufman has a strong leg, but I think the inexperience, he has not done it very often.
So they'll move it back to the 35-yard line, and Washington State will take over again. One thing about BYU, they may have not had the big play for a touchdown, but they've consistently had the big plays to get them in position for the touchdown. And the last one, of course, Boyce, who was wide open on that busted coverage, that keyed that drive.
The safety man was totally out of the play. come across the middle. That's their game. That's BYU's game, is to bring it across the middle.
Beautiful kick coming down to Clayton. Cracked down at the 23. David Henderson, number 46, the backup strong safety with the big hit. And Washington State starts at its 23-yard line, first down. 1:30 remaining in the third quarter. 64,310 our attendance, and they've seen quite a show. By quarters,
look at those numbers.
They keep adding up, don't they, as we move along?
Hey, the computer.
From 17 to 21 to 23. We still have a quarter left. Broussard can't get away. Johnson, Dwayne Johnson, number 54, the first to get there. Rocky Beagle polished him off.
Excellent job by Johnson of keeping the play inside and being up the field enough, preventing him from cutting outside, which Broussard does so very well.
5 yards on the play.
Johnson very steady, not as quick perhaps, but he's a steadying force at that strong linebacker spot. 2nd and 14. Gossen tucks it away at just the right moment, gets to the 27-yard line, and a marker down. Look for holding here. Thrown in the Washington State backfield.
No question about it. It is holding. The penalties, the only thing that stopped either offense. It stopped themselves with penalties.
And the optimistic mind on the sidelines for Washington State will try to get through this problem and move on. He took his team to Lou Tice's Pacific Institute, Mike Price did, on the first couple of days of two-a-days to get his team motivated. He's the Norman Vincent Peale of the Pac-10.
Well, he's an interesting personality. They call him a player's coach. Came out one time with a Halloween mask. He and his whole staff kind of to lift the morale of the team one day.
He does keep it in perspective. The crowd really coming alive now. If BYU's defense can get the job done, they smell good field position on the exchange and a chance to take the lead. 2nd and 23. You can't hear the crowd. Gossen takes control. Now remember the crowd noise rule in the National Football League that has of course been so well talked about since the Bengals-Saints game. Here you can appeal again, a flag can be thrown, a timeout taken away, then 5 yards if it's taken away again. So we could have the same lengthy process, but it just takes longer to lose as many timeouts.
In most cases for the quarterback is just to go ahead and take the snap. But if you don't feel comfortable,
particularly down here.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel very comfortable if I were the quarterback down here.
Gossen. Well, we had not heard from him in a while, and look at Tim Stallworth. Out to the 21, maybe the 22. They had him wrapped up, and he still got free. Dwayne Johnson finally hauled him down, a 12-yard pickup. And that may quiet this crowd for at least a short time. They'll have to quiet down for a moment because we've come to the end of the third quarter. It's going to be wild come the fourth.
It's always been easy to take Jeep off the road.
They stay the same in Provo when these two teams meet. 33-28 as we open the fourth quarter. Gossen works free. What a play. To the 30. Out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Troy Fuller made the stop. We're in Provo, Utah. in a wild offensive show from the Wild Wild Whack and the Pac-10 as Washington State leads BYU 33-28, 14:48 remaining in the game. With Vince Dooley, I'm Tim Brando, and we're happy to be with you for a special Thursday night edition of college football. And immediately following SportsCenter, where you'll get more details on those scores you're seeing from the American League. And immediately following that, our 10th anniversary special hosted by Chris Berman. You'll see it then and then again tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. First down, 10, Washington State at their 40. Down goes Gossen off the blitz from Robinson.
Robinson had 3 sacks last week. He's probably had 3 tonight.
On the 30-yard line.
He can run.
The only way they've been able to stop one another is with blitzes or with mistakes.
Mistakes by the offense or blitz by the defense. You're exactly right.
Second and 20.
That's again.
And Broussard went right into it. Rich Kafusi, along with the blitzing linebacker Robinson, made the stop. They're getting tired down there. There's Kafusi being dragged up by Tim Adams.
Again, they continue to blitz more and more. Here comes Davis and Beagle. And a lot of blue shirts up the middle. Kafusi, Robinson, 59, Robinson 9.
The Joker would be proud of this game. Batman's witnessed quite an offense. 3rd and 18. Gossen gets away again. Boy, he didn't get the first down, but he's up to the 47, and that means a lot on the exchange of punt. 14 yards to pick up for Gossen. But field position, boy, it'll help that a great deal when Washington State goes back on defense.
Extremely important that that Gossen continued to move and get almost the first down, but it did give him good field position to be able to punt.
Myers to punt it away, his longest 56. He's had 3 punts tonight. And Brian Mitchell, the single safety for BYU.
Myers back in front. Brian Mitchell beat for BYU.
They're coming too.
Good distance on this one. Mitchell, though, may have room. Up to the 13-yard line, and that's all. The BYU Cougars trail by 5, and they're playing at home. We'll be back. All offense. BYU from its 13. Boyce, first down. Up to the 30-yard line, Andy Boyce. We talked about it at the top of the telecast, Vince. Total yards. I'd say both of these teams are living up to the billing.
As a matter of fact, BYU might be ahead of schedule, and Washington State is right on schedule.
For BYU.
Washington State averaged nearly 500 yards last year. BYU right at 450.
450, and they're way ahead of schedule right now.
Detmer.
Intercepted by Diggs. John Diggs.
At the 43-yard line, Washington State with a huge break, and Detmer with his first real mistake of the second half. Remember, he had the interception by Grayson in the first half.
This is the first bad pass I've seen Detmer throw. He just overthrew the receiver, right almost to the safety man.
John Diggs picking it up.
He overthrew Franson, and Diggs made a nice break on the football for the interception. Big play for Washington State.
Diggs just moved into the starting position. First down, 10, Washington State.
Rich Swinton.
And there's a flag.
They may have another hold here.
Off the right side, on the offside, run out of bounds by Eric
Clinton with
Ferguson.
a nice gain.
Nice cut.
Flag on the play.
Ball was thrown in the offensive backfield of Washington State. Yep.
The old holding call.
Well, when you start the fourth quarter and you're a team like Washington State with a new coach and you have a break like this, as you look at John Diggs, you'd hope to capitalize on it, Vince.
Okay, you'll see number 70, Chroma, and comes out and holds Davis, number 36. He's got him. Yeah, he's got him. And he's got him good.
A lot of jersey. First down, 20. Gossen steps up and down he goes. Bud Orr, number 93, out of nearby Salt Lake City, the senior. Pierced through there to make the stop. He's been quite active tonight.
Orr and Kapusi both have played very well defensively.
Little headbutting going on now by that defensive front. The fun bunch.
47 yards.
Second down and 19 now. Washington State after the Diggs interception. Leading by 5 with 11:43 to play. Look at number 12. Gossen at the 35-yard line is crunched. And Davis did the honors.
Gossen continues to, he's got quick feet. Watch this, makes the break back inside, continues to come downfield, and then he knows where the flag is, and he's going to go for it. But when he goes for it, there's Bob Davis, who also went for it, number 36, and he hit it good.
Third down, a yard to go.
Tremendous play by Gossen.
18 yards on that pickup. Over the middle for Stallworth. Incomplete. Ferguson knocked it away. Oh, you can point back to that play because they had him nailed with a nice, interesting call here on 3rd and 1.
Gossen saw the man coverage and called the check. And Stallworth, excellent pass. He had the ball. But Ferguson really might have made the play of the night. Who knows?
And that's the man they thought they could exploit. Field goal try of 52 yards for Hansen. What leg?
Holy smoke.
52 and 51 a year ago. That's just a chip shot after a 58-yarder in the 3rd quarter. That's 10 years. And it could be a sign of things to come in the 90s. Certainly the offenses of the 80s and the 90s we're seeing here in the CFA. BYU from the WAC and their Pac-10 opponent tonight, Washington State, leading on the road. Hansen with a lot of leg puts Crutchfield well back in the end zone. Take a look at this leg and the explosion off the tee.
Great example of driving the football and getting some height on the football. And certainly has killed my theory about kicking deep. But this guy is an exceptional kicker. I haven't seen one kick the ball like this since Kevin Butler when I had him.
And I mentioned tee, obviously without the tee, I meant to say. You think about the great leg of Butler. He did have a tee at that Clemson game with 60 yards. That time on the turf.
He doesn't have one now.
That's right.
For the bag.
From the 20. Detmer. Boy, as resourceful as Gossen. And a late hit by Moton. And right on the BYU sideline. Well, strong safeties like to hit, but you don't want to hit that late.
That was a very, very dumb. That's all I can say for it. Dumb call. And costly. Wow.
No doubt about it. Lavelle Edwards loves to get breaks like that and move his team upfield, and we're talking field position here.
Here's number 88, Odell, who comes up, makes a, he pops old Grayson a little bit.
Dead ball, personal foul on the defensive team. First down.
Moton, number 6, the strong safety, picked it up.
Now he's out, Detmer. He's out.
One foot had already been out, and he did it right in Detmer's face. From the 41, first down. Blocked in the air.
Westerfield got his hands up.
Sharing the load. Look at the number of receivers used by Detmer tonight. Bellini with 8, all in the first half. Smith and Boyce into the fray, and Odell is number 1 target 4 times. Even Whittingham, not used as a pass receiver that often at all, has 3. Look-in pattern over the middle, incomplete.
That would have been sort of the shuffle pass, but Eli Onibi,
Ella Onibi.
Eli Onibi fell on the ground. He tripped over him.
So now the ball resting between the 41 and 42, and it's 3rd down and 10. 10:59 to play as you look at Muhammad El Onibi. Smith, the intended receiver, it was overthrown, and he was open, and he knows it.
Bellini was also open, and I was surprised that he went to the deep receiver. Bellini blocked at the line and then slipped out in the flat and had a much easier throw to Bellini than to Smith.
Particularly needing 10 yards to keep possession. Kaufman will punt it away, number 86. And it's been an adventure back there for him. John Diggs, who has an interception that led to the last field goal, awaits the punt. Long and deep and on the ground.
Oh, look at
out
that.
of bounds at the 1. Well, that'll make up for all the problems. 58 yards for Kaufman.
There's Kaufman, who's had a rough time up until now. And he hits that one good. And gets a great roll right here and goes out at the 1.
And it was a low-line driver, Vince, so Diggs made the proper play, letting it roll.
He couldn't do anything about it.
Stallworth coming in a bit late. It's 36-28. Remember that punt, because it could mean a lot in field position as the crowd picks it up. Broussard gets nowhere. Coming up immediately following our game, it's Sports Center with Chris Berman and Dan Patrick, clad in their tuxes, I might add. And they'll have the latest on Flushing Meadow and Agassi and Connors, Lindell and Gentleman Tim Mayotte, and the Cubs and the Mets both come up with victories. They'll have details of that. And after Sports Center, it's our 10th anniversary special. And we have an injured Washington State player.
Tight end, Rob Olson, number 46. And he might have gotten injured with Bob Davis coming in, who made the play.
Olson had a great reception that led to a touchdown, you'll recall, here in the second half.
Get him out there.
I'd say the intensity's picking up here, wouldn't you?
It's never slowed down.
Tim Adams looking on.
Washington State needs to get out of here.
Yeah.
They need to make a first down.
We'll see if they get it when we return. 10:35 to play in Provo. In their opener in 1987, Wyoming got it. 2nd and 10. Washington State has to get out of this. Up the middle. Broussard again. Nothing doing, and I think you're a little bit surprised here.
Well, it's conservative football. As a matter of fact, in the Southeast, I might be doing this, but not out this way.
What do you figure they must do here on 3rd down? Now, that's the base defense that they're facing. If they have to give it up, they'll give it up at midfield to a BYU offense that can certainly move.
Well, I think I'd take my shot with Stallworth. I'd try to get a little possession shot into him for the first down.
Price is waving him on. 3rd and 9. Gossen, he wanted Stallworth. Now he shoots it to him too late.
They did a good job on Stallworth.
Troy Fuller right there with him, blanketing him. Number 42 in blue, the free safety. And it's 4th down and 9. And that punt by Kaufman served BYU well. Myers now is in the pressure situation.
Yeah, coming after him. Overload to the right.
Low snap.
He's got it. Whoa!
I don't know how he got it out of there. Ryan Mitchell will watch it bounce. And it gets a nice Washington State roll. A marker down. The ball at the 43. Now, could it be roughing the kicker? If it is, what a turnaround. And they were coming after him.
I don't think there's any question it's roughing the kicker, number 44, Beatty. He went up. I don't know how he missed it. Beatty just got a little portion of it. It wouldn't have been roughing. Right here. Now.
Boy, what work by Myers getting it away on a low snap. Byron Beatty, a backup linebacker out of Laie, Hawaii.
Roughing the kicker. First down.
That was the big 15-yard penalty, first down automatic, not the 5-yard.
Well, they were conservative. You see the penalties. Both teams committing their fair share at inopportune moments. But they were conservative on those last 3 plays. What do you figure here? Get it back up in the air on first down?
They need to get it up.
Stallworth.
They got Stallworth out here. He's looking. Gossen sees the field. He reads the defense extremely well.
You made an interesting point after talking with the coaches today when we met, that in essence Stallworth decides how far he'll go on his route.
Well, on one particular, which is an option route, and we'll see if that's what this is now. He's got 3 different options.
Gossen is looking for him. And now it's Griggs. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Brian Mitchell, number 30, right with number 5, Calvin Griggs. Well, Stallworth was in the area. I think that's where Gossen wanted to go early on.
Well, Gossen right here could have gone ahead and run for the first down. I thought he was covered down the field nicely by Mitchell. Good job by Mitchell, number 30, who bailed them out last week with a great interception and return of 97 yards for a touchdown.
Without that interception, BYU may have indeed lost that game. And what an upset that would have been had New Mexico pulled that one off in Albuquerque. 97 yards, a BYU record. 2nd and 10. Johnson intercepted by Robinson.
Johnson forced the errant pass, and Robinson picked it.
Here's Johnson coming from the backside, and he hits him. The ball goes up. And then Robinson, who is always around the football, makes the interception right here. It's Johnson right here coming back from the backside. Hits him right here with his headgear. First bad pass. Robinson makes the interception.
Boy, and Swinton, the running back, just let him go right by him. 1st and 10 at the 18. Detmer. Number 10, Jay Langwin. Down at the 2-yard line. He's gone. The backup strong safety. And look at Detmer. Oh, what a feeling that must be to have had the night he's had and now suddenly have that happen.
This right here, for the second time, he throws a bad pass. I don't know how to understand. That's not him. It doesn't seem like it. And Langler, who picks it off, and then you've got to give Detmer credit for coming down and at least saving the touchdown. Goes to the 3-yard line. What a turnaround in this football game. One play to the next.
They mark it at the 4. 1st and goal, Washington State. They already lead by 8. 36-28, 8:54 left. Broussard. Oh, look at the second effort. Close to the touchdown, but not quite.
There's Bellini right here, who gets knocked off his route, now continues downfield. But it was not a good pass to Bellini.
And he was pressured, and I know Lavelle Edwards is talking to him about that. He was hurried that time.
What a run, what a run.
2nd and goal. Broussard, touchdown. His 3rd touchdown of the night. And Mike Price, cool and calm along the sideline.
Broussard gets an excellent block by Swinton. Turns it back in for the touchdown. Broussard made an excellent run to play before to get it down to the half-yard line.
You see Agassi defeated Connors. It took 5 sets. Highlights right after our game on SportsCenter with Chris Berman and Dan Patrick, and then our anniversary special. The extra point is good by Hansen. What a role he's played in this game for Washington State, as has that man. Steve Broussard, 43-28 our score, still 8 minutes and 12 seconds remaining. And if you thought this was good, we bring Big Ten action to you on ESPN with Miami of Ohio playing Purdue at 12:30 Eastern Time. Wayne Larrabee and Stan White will bring you that one. Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley will be at Tallahassee for Clemson and Florida State. And, of course, we'll be along on Sunday for a special edition of ESPN College Football. A whack attack from Air Force and Wyoming. Fisher to Berry's offense. Something else on the ground, as wide open as a wishbone could be.
That'll be a lot of scoring. Be another track meet there. Well, this is going to be a real test for this young fella, number 14, who had such a superb first half, and then to throw the ball right there, that's at least right now may have turned the ball game around.
You see Robbie Bosco next to him, the former Green Bay quarterback who led this team to a national championship. They're only 1-84. He's working with the quarterbacks as a graduate assistant. As a matter of fact, Lavelle Edwards had taken some heat when Mike Holmgren, his quarterback coach, left for San Francisco to coach under Bill Walsh. He did not hire another quarterback coach, but now he has Bosco. And some of the heat from the fans is off where that's concerned. A kick to Crutchfield way too deep. And Hansen is kicking much like a Morton Anderson type for the Saints. He's got a lot of leg, driving the receivers well back into the end zone.
Well, we'll see how Detmer responds to the interception.
0 for his last 5 in the air, Vince. 2 interceptions. Hardly 20 for 26, which we witnessed in the first half. And our scores by halves growing. 43-28. Detmer for Bellini. Knocked away by Langwin again. Well, number 10 touched it again.
Well, Detmer forced that ball a little bit, too, into coverage.
Jay Langwin.
Kind of like in desperation, trying to go to his favorite receiver, Bellini. But you can see right here that there are white shirts everywhere. He forced the ball into coverage. He's not taking what they're giving him now.
2nd and 10. Smith. Well, that time he took what was given as Smith got out of bounds. Phil Garabedian, the left side linebacker, number 43 of Washington State, taking him out of bounds.
First down for the Cougars on the BYU 33.
There's plenty of time on the clock, so they need to move down the field, but not in a situation that's desperate.
8 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Franzen near another first down at the 43. Langwin again, along with Ledbetter making the stop. And Jay Langwin may be the hero defensively of this game after that interception out of Port Arthur, Washington. Can play both safety positions, really, and was a great special teams player a year ago.
Well, he may see a lot more playing time after what he's done tonight.
Yeah. But look at that, career highs for Detmer, and yet he may only remember the 2 picks in the second half by night's end. He had 1 in the first half that Grayson picked off. You saw 3 on the night, and that was inside the 10-yard line, and a touchdown turned away. And as we mentioned, Mike Price and Lavelle Edwards both knew their offenses would move. It was just a question of how few times their defenses would allow the offenses of the opposition into the end zone.
And that's been the story tonight. But penalties, interceptions.
That young offensive line will be tested now. Detmer gets away from Downey. Now under duress. Incomplete, intended for Andy Boyce.
He really did get hit.
Ron Ricard made that hit along the sidelines.
And Downing, number 97.
Oh.
When you're in this kind of situation, you can just back your ears if you're the 4-down lineman and go, because you know it's going to be a pass 80, 85, 90% of the time.
Tony Savage, their best rusher, their best lineman, maybe the best in the West, has been out the entire second half, but it hasn't mattered, has it? Detmer, incomplete, right through the hands of Odell, and we have a marker down. Well, we've seen some sure-handed receivers now. Both Odell and Bellini drop some passes here in the second half. A push against BYU. The misery index creeping up on BYU. Look at that. 3 turnovers, 11 penalties. You mentioned those, Vince. 2 drop passes now, and 5 sacks allowed, and that young offensive front.
Lost it down.
Roger French was concerned about his guys not being as physical as Washington State up front.
Well, he felt like that they would just overpower him and push him back, cave him in, as he said. And that's happened a couple of times tonight. Particularly when you get in this kind of a situation, you'll see the linemen back their legs, get elongated stance, so there's only one way they're going.
3rd and 26. Detmer for Franzen. Up to midfield and just shy have the first down with yet another marker down in the backfield. And you'll hear some boos if it is holding.
Oh, this...
and it is.
I've never seen, I can't remember a team being hurt this much by penalties.
But again, we point back to offensive line, youth. And again, Stevens at center, only a junior, hasn't played a great deal. Baumforth, a junior, hasn't played a great deal. Number 70, the left guard.
Holding.
Number 72, May here. Looks like he's got him. Yeah, he's got him. He's pulling him down.
The right tackle.
Yeah, number 72, May, is holding 96, Gray.
Just a sophomore. And again, we point up that's just a fact of life for BYU. They are very young up front. But still, after the game's over, when they look at the offensive numbers, they probably won't believe they only got 28 points, if in fact the score stays this way. Ty Detmer now taking time out, it appears. 7:16 remaining on our 10th anniversary. It's been a lot of fun this past decade. We got a lot more left here. Tim Brando, third and an eternity for the Cougars of BYU.
Has to dash to get out of the way of the rush, which gives him more time.
And there's Smith. Oh, he just overshot him just a bit. And as much as Chris Smith has been involved in long patterns, it looked like it had a chance of making a completion.
Once again, they had to use the dash by coming back and then sprinting out to the wide side of the field. And with the rush that they've had, that's the only way they're going to get time to throw the ball down the field, which they did, and almost had a play to Smith.
And Kaufman will punt it away. And if you're looking for a turning point in this game, it may have been after Kaufman punted the ball to the 1, and then BYU served up a pass interception after getting good field position. Bad punt by Kaufman this time. It's been an adventure for him, a roller coaster ride. And this one only 17 yards gives Washington State the ball at the BYU 35. A long evening for that man, Lavelle Edwards.
When it goes bad, it goes bad.
BYU 6-0 at home last year. This will be their first defeat since '87, as we mentioned earlier, at home. If, in fact, Washington State holds on. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, and a lot can happen.
Washington State can put it away on this drive right here.
Swinton met by Robinson. And for a time, it appeared Robinson may have been the hero because he had the interception and gave BYU the ball just prior to Langwin's pickoff of Ty Detmer.
They want to run some clock, so when that kind of a situation, it's much better for a back to cut up field and then run out of bounds, which stops the clock. He knows he's not going to get anything anyway.
Pretty good night for Brad Gossen. 50% and over 300 yards in the air.
It's a lot better than what it looks, really.
Straight drop. Ooh, Stallworth had it, lost it. And they hit by Dixon due in large part. It was 2 on 2, and now Stallworth saying he came up with it, and he may have.
What?
Boy, Dixon knocked it free, and I think while he was on his back, Stallworth came up with the catch.
If he did, that is a spectacular catch because Dixon really hit him. Stallworth comes across. He's got the ball. Let's see. Well, yeah, he did. What a tremendous job of concentration on the football.
Dixon hit him as he was going for the interception. He gambled and lost.
Reverse.
And that's Stallworth.
Staying down. Not a holding.
Down, and I think you're right, it should be holding as Stallworth is knocked out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Chad Robinson, among others, in hot pursuit. Stallworth, like 3 other Washington State players, has had problems off the field. He actually did time this year for driving without a license, caught for the 2nd time. He, along with Dan Grayson and Steve Broussard, have had brushes with the law. And we asked Mike Price earlier today about the effects that could have.
Holding on the offensive team. Still first down.
And Mike Price told us, because both of them are seniors, that they have formed sort of a leadership, saying, look, fellas, don't do those kind of things. There's no way it's going to help.
Well, it's not good to do it anytime, but particularly in a college environment like Pullman, where you're living in a fishbowl, and anytime you make a poor decision, you'll be chastised.
Well, you have responsibilities as an athlete. With a lot of privileges, but there comes great responsibilities because a lot of people look to you.
First down and 18 now for Washington State. Broussard runs right into Craig Patterson, number 51, 6'5" junior from Castledale, Utah. Left tackle that they expect big things from in the future. Was a starter really coming off a broken leg, not in great shape, but they'd love to see more action from him. He's been mending that bad leg from a year ago. 2nd and 20.
Keeping the ball inside and not running out of bounds, you'll see how fast the clock is running down.
Play fake. Robinson blitzing. Beagle can't get him. Orr and company finally do, and Beagle comes back yet another time. Chad Robinson leading the charge. And it's 3rd and 30 coming up. 5:19 left. Well, you said this was a chance for Washington State to put it away. Now they're going backwards.
You can never predict what's going to happen on the next play in this ball game, because it has changed almost every play. One thing has been consistent: the penalties.
3rd and 30. They keep it on the ground. Broussard again. Swinton rather than Broussard, I beg your pardon, number 33. He, like Broussard, built low to the ground. Bob Davis made the stop. And you see the clock ticking at 4:30 and counting.
And Hansen is going for his 3rd one.
58, 52. This one should be 46. They'll mark it at the 36-yard line. And angles really haven't mattered either.
Well, this is the worst angle he's had.
But it really doesn't matter.
He has put on some kicking performance tonight.
Through the upright.
4:06 remaining. Washington State has upped its lead 46-28. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick, Chris Berman standing by. What would life have been like with ESPN and no Chris Berman, right? We've got a lot of stories as well. Major League Baseball, pennant races, the U.S. Open. Agassi played Connors today. Gentlemen Tim Mayotte and Yvonne Lindell involved, and they'll give you all the details on that. And then, of course, Chris will be back with you again with our 10th anniversary special. He'll be hosting it as we look back at a decade with the cable network of the 80s, headed into the 90s, ESPN. 46-28 our score, 4:06 to play. Washington State now with what you think is almost an insurmountable lead.
Almost. There's always that small percentage chance.
And you'd really, the only reason you say that is because of what we've witnessed.
Yeah.
The first 3.5 quarters. Charlton, along with Crutchfield, are back to Crutchfield 24, Charlton 43.
Crutchfield. Got Charlton leading for the
And again,
BYU.
we've seen that before from Hansen, haven't we? No way to bring it out. 4 field goals, 4 extra points, 16 in all for Jason Hansen. A nice evening's work indeed, and he's only a sophomore. His field goals of 22, 58, 52, and 36.
And he's feeling good. You didn't mention how many times he kicked in the end zone with no return.
He's all smiles. BYU operating with no huddle now in their hurry-up.
They gotta hurry, hurry, hurry.
Plenty of time, and there's Smith. That pass has been there all night. Up to the 45-yard line, a 24-yard gain, and we have a marker, another late hit. And Michael Wright may be guilty again, number 20. Boy, that's 3 we've seen tonight. And when you're leading by 18 with 3:56 to play, you just can't do this.
Very poor. Very poor. There's Smith. There's Smith. Now let's see. He's out of bounds. And, well.
Oh, he threw him down.
Oh, just.
It would have been fine if he hadn't thrown him to the turf. Smith, a big night, as the tight end. 7 catches, 115 yards. 1st and 10 now for BYU. 3:56 left.
That's bad, though.
Boyce to the 20-yard line. Roosevelt Noble, the right corner, made the stop. Another 19 yards. They got the ball with 4:03 left. There's 3:49 left now.
Come down the field in a hurry. He needs to get out of bounds. But he didn't.
Fred Whittingham tackled by Langwin at the 12-yard line. On 1st down, Detmer over the middle again for Smith. And a marker down. Smith is down at the 5. What was a very exciting game has now become somewhat boring because of the penalties, slowing the pace of the game, and it's gotten somewhat sloppy here in the 4th quarter.
Well, that has been the sloppy part of the game, the penalties. But you take that away, it's been really well-played football game on both sides. But that's a lot of penalties.
And BYU goes backwards again. It's been holding for the majority of the trouble for BYU. 14 penalties now against them for 131 yards. Guy Gibbs must give us the official story.
Downfield on the offense. 5 yards and still second.
That's the first ineligible receiver we've seen.
And for a passing team like BYU, that shouldn't happen.
2nd down and 8.
Probably going to have to put it up. Out here to Boyce. Oh, he's going back the other way.
Odell to the 6-yard line. Clock ticks with 3:10 and counting. They'll stop it after the 1st down. The chains have to move, and then it'll start again. 488 yards in the air for Detmer tonight. Bellini, touchdown. Almost insurmountable. Almost. Garabedian could not keep up with Bellini again.
They have worked on old Garabedian tonight. He's had a tough time. But Bellini is some receiver. Here he is coming out of the backfield. Garabedian's on him, but he cuts to the outside and turns Garabedian around and can't make the play.
Garabedian, who they really like in pass coverage. They'd like to see him bulk up. Couldn't get it done. They go for 2. Nice play fake. Hits it out to Whittingham. But Washington State's defense right there. Ledbetter, number 91. Diggs, number 22. Neither would have any of it. Detmer appears injured.
A lot of flags tonight. They faked the jump, flipped it out.
Detmer is injured. We'll check on him. They're carrying him now off the field. They're holding his shoulder. And a Washington State player is down as well. We'll check on their situations when we come back.
Fuji videotape. Its only limitation.
This was just an inadvertent whistle. No flag.
Uncoordinated officials. They're just starting out, too, trying to get coordinated.
Chaffetz will kick it away. Let it roll. Did it go far enough? I think it did. I think BYU may have it. No, Washington State has it. Fuller came out with it. Troy Fuller came out with a football. Yeah, now they make them. Yeah, and the problems continue for the officials. At the 45-yard line, BYU keeps it. Troy Fuller recovered, number 42 in blue.
Does he touch the ball right here? Yeah, they kick it over. It really didn't go to 10 yards.
It's got to go 10 yards. I think it was an ankle of a player going down to the turf that hit it.
Player, right here, touched the ball. Should have been dead right there. And Washington State should have had the football.
But BYU's got it, and they're at home.
Here comes the blitz.
Detmer swings it out. Bellini fell to the turf. But again, nice coverage by Langwin and Diggs. He wouldn't have gotten far, even had he caught it.
Well, that was Garabedian, and he can run good. It's good to see him do some things. He's had a tough time tonight against a great passing team, but he won't have one to have to cover any more better players than Bellini the rest of his year.
2:58 left. 2nd and 10, BYU trailing by a dozen. Detmer gets out of trouble, and down he goes. He was trying to direct Chris Smith to the open field at midfield, but then Tim Downing, along with 94 Kirk Westerfield, were able to get to him. 3rd down, 9, and this is 4-down territory. Put it up. Whittingham in position to pick it off a second time was Jay Langwin. And Detmer really was facing a lot of coverage there. He could not work a receiver free. 4th down coming up. And for intents and purposes, for all intents and purposes, your ball game. They'll have to complete this pass.
Well, he came out of his shoe. What a tremendous first half. And then to have a second half that has been up and down and up and down.
And Stacy Corley, the look on his face will certainly prove that point. 4th and 9, 2:25 left from Provo. Detmer for Smith. Interference against Noble, number 37. Smith began lobbying for the call even before the ball hit the ground.
Well, we'll see. He was going to Smith, number 94. Top of your screen, and Noble just gets turned around and loses the ball and then just backs into him. You'd have to say that was pass interference.
And Smith was right on top of it. The extra official there.
Pass interference on the defensive team. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
When you're in that kind of a situation, Noble should have been way back and reading the football, but he got completely turned around.
These are the kinds of things, though, that young secondaries have to learn. Washington State will probably not face, other than Bill Musgrave in the Pac-10, an offense that will throw the ball quite as much. The Pac-10 is basically a rushing conference now with Aikman, Pete, and their own Rosenbaum gone. 1st and 10 with 2:18 to play. Detmer to Franzen, out of bounds at the 22. Ron Ricard knocked him out of bounds at the game. Again, a quick program note. Sports Center to follow immediately after our game here. And, of course, the 10th anniversary special following that. 2:11 to play here in Provo. Tim Brando, Vince Dooley. 46-34 Washington State leading. It has been a track meet.
And it's not over yet.
Detmer for Bellini.
receiver.
Vincent may have taken you a couple of seasons to score as many points as we've seen tonight. At Georgia.
I've been in a few of these contests.
Maybe that Michigan State game you had at the Gator Bowl.
This Bellini is some receiver. In his record, he's got him beat. And Detmer puts the ball right on the button, and we got a football game again. We got 5 points. Still 2 minutes left.
And with 4:03 to play, we said almost insurmountable. Boy, I'm glad I said almost. Oh, they're loving it here in Provo. 64,000 plus on their feet. And this is supposed to be a sedate crowd. Not now.
Well, let's watch the onside kick here.
The timeouts remaining. Washington State with 3, but they won't use them. BYU has 2.
That would be plenty.
Yeah.
That would be plenty for their offense.
I remember Chaffetz just touched it, and they formed sort of a convoy of 3 or 4 players around it, really shielding Washington State from the ball. And now BYU is forced to utilize one of its timeouts. Boy, that's critical. I don't know if they did not have all their players on the field or if they had some difficulty there, but even if they get the ball, not having a timeout or an extra timeout could be devastating. 46-41. In case you just joined us, you missed a lot, but we've got a lot remaining. 2:02 to play from Cougar Stadium in Provo, Utah. Mark Ledbetter hopes that it's enough. But Bellini and Matt Odell, they've got other ideas.
Well, they're going to execute what is sometimes known as the watermelon kick. Yeah, which was the one that was done right here.
Here's what we're talking about. Watch the ankle touch just before, right there, by Chaffetz. 16 hit it, and then the lineman hit it. Washington State should have had the football, but BYU made use of their break.
Well, this is something that the Rules Committee ought to address, because this kind of kick, to me, has put some people in a position of getting injured. As you can see, so many of them coming down the field.
Same thing. Look out. BYU's got it. No, Washington State has it. Well, we've got some quick officials tonight.
They're going to have to dig them out. They're going to have to dig them out and unpile them.
Mike Price is having to get his entire team off the field.
Somebody's down there under the pile with a football.
ESPN had years of rugby and scrums and Australian rules football. Washington State, with its imitation of it, may have possession of the ball here. Number 28 is Anthony Pryor, a reserve defensive back. And apparently he came up with it. No, now Chaffetz is saying BYU's got it.
Let's see who's got it.
Officials timeout. Whoop, yep, it does go to Washington State.
Well, here it is. This is what's known as a watermelon kick, and I really don't like it. It comes in close, and you got an opportunity for some injuries in this kind of a situation. More so than just a normal onside kick. Something that the Rules Committee, to me, ought to address.
Washington State has the ball, and remember, BYU's used one of their timeouts. So Washington State can really run the clock out. BYU needs a turnover now. They only have one TO remaining. Broussard stays in bounds at the 38-yard line. Bob Davis, who's been everywhere tonight, made the stop. The middle linebacker, number 36. In a game where a lot of points have been given up, he has played very well. Pickup of 7, 2nd and 3 coming up. And the clock ticks with 1.5 left. Sports Center is next, the 10th anniversary show to follow. Broussard cuts back but runs into Orr. And tonight's PISA Players of the Game from the University of Washington State and BYU. Here is Bob Davis, the linebacker who had a brilliant game tonight. And for Brigham Young, or I should say for Washington State, Brad Gossen, the quarterback. Boy, in the heels of Tim Rosenbaugh's career, he has played very well in his first 2 victories, one against Idaho at home and now here. Swinton close to the first down inside the 35 at the 34. Chad Robinson made the tackle. We're down to 30 seconds now.
You might mention Hanson as an alternate player as a kicker. He had a brilliant game himself.
And the kicks really came at critical times, but I point back to Gossen simply because we've heard so much about Detmer. Gossen coming into the season, not really a commodity, a known commodity, but he's known now.
Well, they say he's not sensational. In fact, they call him the most unimpressive quarterback that he's ever seen. I asked Coach Price, what do you mean by that? He said, well, he throws wobbly passes and he doesn't look very good, but he wins. He gets things done. He's consistent. And tonight was a good example.
14 for 27, 317 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Last week in a conversation with his coach, Mike Price told Gossen to look off the free safety, really zip the pass to the sideline, really pin the receiver. And very quickly, the quarterback, Gossen, looked right back at the coach and said, hey, don't you know the media says I don't have a very strong arm. I can't do that. And now he's looking to become only the 3rd Washington State player to move on and have this kind of success as a head football coach in Pullman.
Well, that gives you an example of how he handles himself so well with a lot of poise and patience and confidence.
They made the first down, and this should be it. Stallworth and Davis now exchanging elbows as time runs almost out. BYU does have the 1 timeout remaining, and apparently they have exercised that option. Well, Vince, you and I will head off to Colorado Springs. We'll have Air Force in Wyoming on Sunday. Should be an interesting game, and don't forget Saturday. Big Ten action, Miami of Ohio taking on Purdue. It all begins with College Game Day. Bob Carpenter, Bino Cook, and Lee Corso. And then the Big Ten game to follow with Wayne Larrabee and Stan White from Purdue in West Lafayette. And then at 7:30, Ron Franklin and Kevin Kiley bring you Clemson and Florida State.
Could we have 10 seconds on the clock, please?
We need 10 more seconds on the clock, according to Guy Gibbs. Well, we've seen a lot of mistakes. You see that in September from all 3 teams.
I don't know that I've seen so many penalties, though, that really affected a football game like this one.
Washington State, BYU, and the officials have made their share tonight. But it's early. Again down to the knee. And that will do it. Washington State comes in here and wins for the first time in a while, evening the series at 1 game apiece. 46-41 the final. For Vince Dooley, I'm Tim Brando, saying so long from Provo. We'll see you Sunday. Now a very special Sports Center.